Okay, great. Okay, so I am Anthony Cathy. I am the Senior Director of S&T for the National Society of Leadership and Success, the University of Phoenix chapter, online chapter. I started the Aunts and Uncles of America, which I want to change to For America because that's what it's about. I think the reason I started was because I was a 15-year-old young man who was kicked out because I was considered an adult. And during that time, my mom had 13 brothers and sisters, and they all was let go at 15 and 16 years of age as an adult. And that's just a tradition that she thought was right and that she wanted to carry on. So when I got kicked out, I went to my godmother's house, who had 8 children already. And she was young and she needed help. So I instantly became a helpmate for her. And I grew up as an adult soon because I had to work and go to school. And I realized the importance of being a village, being someone who's a single parent, anyone, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather. There's a lot of people out here being single parents and being a village for children that they did not have or, you know, not necessarily asked to have responsibility for. But they've taken it on because they know that it's necessary. So the reason why I started because there was so many older people who came into my life at that age who showed me that, oh, yeah, there's people that cares and that we do want to help you. It's just about what you apply yourself to. So when I was seeing these different things to navigate and seeing these different things to obtain in my journey as a young man, I realized that everything was not negative and that I didn't have to succumb to the things that was going to cause me more problems in my life and that I could be progressive in a different way. So I chose that route. I chose to be progressive. And as I chose to be progressive, I see more and more people gravitate toward me. So I realized that if you nurture and you feed into a person or a child, that's that's really ultimately the determining factor of what they will become, of what they will become. So I am honored that I have aunts and uncles because it's actually allowed me to provide what was given to me at that young age to other helpmates and people who are helping people to provide the space for people to grow and be in a space where they can have family or come to someone they have questions or just be a resource for those people who are shedding light on many children in the community. So my goal is to revamp it now. I did start it with a friend of mine who I was friend with 5 years ago. And in order for me to take it on, a lot of things need to be changed around because she's no longer a part of it. So I was not going to, believe it or not, I was not going to actually continue on with aunts and uncles, but I got inspired being in this space. Being in the NSLS space has really catapulted me to realize what it was that I was leaving behind for no reason. I always tell people, in order to accomplish your dreams or your goals, you have to learn the deviations that take place within them so that you can put risk management tactics in place in order to keep the course, to stay on focus with overcoming those obstacles and achieving your goals. So for me, it was on the back burner for a while. And I thought about it. I'm like, man, what can I do to help people become more in tune with the need of others in the community? Even today, when you walk out your door, you see so many young people who are out on the street, in the city of Chicago. I see that. So I say, wow, it's just, and then I also used to work for Project Peach, and we used to provide organizational help to those in the community, especially those of LGBTQ youth, because 40% of those are the ones who are homeless or neglected. So that is my focus. Whether I'm doing aunts and uncles, that will be my life's mission is to see that children are nurtured and that they are taken care of while they're here on this earth as children so that they can do the same for others that are coming up. We need to nurture behaviors in which allow people to see that it's okay to be a positive force in your community and that it's okay to be a example of power or be empowering to someone younger than you. And they may not understand, but they see in action. Take action. That's what I want people to see. Let people visualize what it is to be a great person, to be a great leader, to be a force in your community, because that's the only way we're going to change the world. So for me, yeah, it's in a revamping stages. I'm actually working with a guy now. His name is Luther. He does he used to do our stuff for a website. So he's working on that now. That'll be up the next couple of months. And then we got an actual grant which from the same organization, National Action Network, recently for a large amount. And I'm so happy because we did get one from them a couple of years ago. And when I went back to them to get more, they was like, well, we need to see what you're going to do this year. So I had to go into fast track and start planning events because I want these people to have money. I want them to have the resources. So I have an event coming up now where I'm throwing a dinner for all the people in the past who had were involved in our events in the past, and we hadn't seen them in a couple of years because of COVID and all the other good stuff. So I'm inviting them back, and we're going to do like a little ceremony to thank them, and then to also see how we can help them further. So that's what I'm working on now. Then I want to do a clothing drive in the winter because that's when kids need it most, on the street. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now, and it's been it's been a journey. But nothing is easy. And when you have a drive and a passion to help other people, you'll see the end result, or whatever they call the result, the outcome is really what makes you happy, tingly inside, and propels you forward. So I want this to be able to help me to propel me forward and create more dynamic. I want this to be a universal organization where everybody feel compelled to have a division in their city, in their state, globally, in their country, where they see, man, aunts and uncles for America is something I want to be a part of. Even if you have a little small division where you just say, hey, this is going to be in the name of aunts and uncles, and then post it. Like I want to have like a whole universal thing going on where people are really, honing in on people. It's the name of it is aunts and uncles because I'm a uncle, and I have a lot of friends who are aunts who don't have children, and we always have been a village for children. So I always say I can only speak from that perspective. So aunts and uncles is befitting because of that reason. So yes, I am so grateful for that. I'm grateful that many people are seeing the value in it. And yeah, I want to utilize just my talents and my drive to keep it moving forward. I would say by the end of the year, aunts and uncles will be up and running wholeheartedly, full-fledged. And I'm excited about where it's going to take us in 2023. I really am. My mission is to be the change that I want to see. And that's what I want other people to adapt to. I haven't really thought about, the future of this. I only wanted to just manifest itself as it goes on, as it progresses. If it becomes big in a way where I actually can employ people, that would be awesome. That's what I really want to do. But I just only believe the universe will allow me to do that if I am doing the right thing by it. So that's what my goal is now, is to continue to do right by aunts and uncles, and allow people to see the value in it, and then allow it to progress me and propel me forward for those people coming up. And if I can just help one or two people in this organization, the goal is to do that. But I know that I've helped so many already. So I would like for them to do the same. If I can have stories, my goal is to, when we have this dinner or this event, is to just hear the stories of what they've done so far outside of Aunts and Uncle, So yeah, that's it. That's Aunts and Uncles. It started in 2015. And it started after me and my friend was sitting around trying to figure out what we could do to help the community. We saw a lot of people who were like us, who needed help, and we wanted to know how we could help. We didn't have money or anything. We said, man, let's go ahead and start us a LLC or a 501c that's going to help people. And we did that, and we went to a grant writing course, and we said we need money. So we went to South Suburban College in South Holland, Illinois, and we did a grant writing course. And we both took, and we said we both gonna write a letter to 5 organizations, and whoever get it first, we got to take that person to dinner. Guess who won? Me. I won $5,000 from the National Action Network, and for my organization. And man, when I tell you, it was monumental. It makes me emotional because when you see that your purpose is being lived out and fulfilled in a way that is helping other people, my life wasn't a crystal stair. So I think about how I could have been negative because of those reasons. And I think about how, oh, I'm such an emotional wreck. So I think about how me turning that into a positive and how it's transformed my mind in the way that I think. It's a spiritual thing. It really is. And put someone else first. That's my encouragement to other people. Put someone else first in your life because it's important. You'll get a lot of gratification out of that. Ugh, sorry, you all. Ugh.
It's
You'll get a lot of.
totally awesome. I'll cut in for just a moment. There's a couple things that I did want to add for the viewers. So for those of you who are not aware, this is a national holiday, June 26th. You can Google it and you will see that this is not some small feat. This is something that has been progressed for many years. And here in Hawaii, we have what's called Hanai, and which means, that you are family, not blood related, but you are basically adopted without, the courts and things like that, because it's a cultural thing. So, when you're a child and you see an older gentleman or an older lady, it's respect. You automatically call them auntie and uncle. So, culturally, in a lot of cultures like Hawaii, this is very needed, and it's very much adopted here. And to make that into a national thing and show, not only in the culture can that be happening, but it can become and adopted by an American culture and even a global culture, for that matter. There are a lot of different people who don't have children or have the ability to have children, so they choose to be aunties and uncles. And that's no small feat. Even people who do have children are aunties and uncles, and they're just trying to do their best for their Hanai nephews or nieces or great grandchildren. They don't necessarily have to be related by blood, but it's the fact that you see them as someone in need as a child or a young adult, and you want to show them guidance and show them where they can go with it. So that is why I personally have backed this organization on a personal level, because I understand the need for it. And like Anthony said, it's about having a better world and being that example. He is a very charismatic leader, meaning that he wants to do it together. And he feels that it's a togetherness. There's not one person that is greater than another. We have our own different areas of expertise, skill levels, experience. And even if you have none, you have that ability to learn. And that's what it's all about, is just having that knowledge that you are a leader in your own way, and you can take any negative things that happen and turn them into positive. It's about how you take it, receive it, and respond, because we can't control these outside events that happen to us at all. But what we can control is how we respond and what we decide to make out of that. So it's about, what kind of person do you want to be? And if you're someone watching this now who says, I'll never be good enough, I'm worthless, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And if you feel that you have nothing to do, no one to talk to, there is somebody. There's a helpline, there's an old friend, a colleague. There's always somebody that, if you feel comfortable and you're having trouble, go talk to that person. There is no hierarchy of talking to somebody when you're in need. If you're in a bad mental space, that's why you need to reach out to organizations like this, so they can help give you the guidance, because it could be simply you don't know or you've never been taught. And that should never be held against you, because you can find somebody who can teach you, who can guide you. So again, it's all about how you decide to take it and respond to it, because every person in life struggles, but without struggle, we can't have growth. Without growth, we can't have change. So it's very important to understand what kind of change you want that to be. And that's why organizations like Aunties and Uncles of America are so important, and why I understand you want to change it for America, because it's not of being American. This is coming from us to give to you. So it's a very inspirational, motivated, and very village style type of organization that is, like he said, it's a nonprofit. It's already 501c. They are reamping their website and everything like that. So it's really important to know that we need to help people like this understand their value to the community, so they do want to continue, because we all have those hard spaces. And like Dolly Parton said, one of my favorite quotes in the world, if you want the rainbow, you have to deal with the rain. And I love that. So I want to give it back to you, Anthony, so you can kind of tell us a little bit more about what you plan to do in the future with it, the near future, the long future. What's your overall goal? What would you like to see from it? You did mention like employing people. What
Yes.
about like having chapters, things like that? What are your thoughts on those kinds of things?
Well, I want to put this first before I go because my emotions come from a place of gratitude. This is the reason why you probably saw me, you all heard me crying, but or see me crying. It's because I get emotional because I'm so grateful, so very grateful. A lot of people didn't that I grew up with didn't that had went through the same path didn't have a chance like I did. So when you see that your experiences, that's why I say my empathy comes from those experiences of others because that's how I grow as a leader. I say, wow, you, I try to not to waddle in my own inabilities or what I'm feeling sad for. I try to look at other people's experiences to help me grab from that. And I'm gonna tell you why, because when you see that yours is not as bad as others, you understand that, hey, hold on, what am I doing here? I need to be trying to see how I can help this person. So it would framework your mind differently when you see that, wait, hold on, our minds is not that bad. So that's the reason why I am very transparent when it comes to how I feel, because I want people to feel that energy to be open and honest, because that's what we should have with one another. Nobody is better than anyone. When I tell you, I can tell you my whole book life story, and you'll be like, wow. But I know that someone else could tell me theirs, and I'll be crying and sobbing and woo-hooing. Because those experiences, while they're not the same, they're empathetic. You can identify with them because we're human. So I just want people to get back to a human place. And like Ashley said, I am looking to employ people in the future. I would like to have chapters, but I don't want them to be chapters. I want them to be called divisions. I want them to be little divisions in each state where people feel like, oh, I have my own divisions. Well, it could be like a co-op for them. So maybe someone has like an initiative where they're helping domestic violent women, but then they want to also add aunts and uncles to it. Let's do that. I don't want it to be stifled. I want people to be creative in how they incorporate aunts and uncles. So I give people that. I do want it to be like where if you're going to be a part of it, I want you to sign a contract. It's not a legal binding contract, but just let me know that you're going to do right by our mission, our values, and things when you take it on. I don't want people to feel compelled to be tied to something that's helping them. No. So I
And
want
you're
it to be like a
referring to
division.
accountability, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes. So it's for
Accountability
the
and
viewers.
discipline. Yes.
Yes. That's what it's
Accountability and
for.
discipline. That's what it's for. I'm sorry. Yes, I want people to have accountability and discipline. And when they take on this feat of the mission and values of Aunts and Uncles, because it's very important that people don't play around with it. You're helping people for free, for nothing. And if you're actually going to be contracted to do it, I'm going to be sending resources over to you because I want you to be successful. That's how far I want it to go. I want it to be where people say, hey, I see you guys, this Aunts and Uncles going on in Chicago. How do I get in? Well, I have a contract only. All I need you to do is sign it and uphold the values, missions of the organization. And if you need some additional resources, we want to be here for you in that way. Okay, once they get signed on, we go through the interview process because we want to interview them too as well to make sure that they're capable. But after we do that and they come on, I want them to call me once a month and give me an itemized checklist of the things that they may need that I could possibly help them with. And I'll have that shipped to them. That's how I want it to be. I want it to be the main hub or distributor for people who need resources around the world and in the country. I don't know when I want that to happen, but I definitely want it to happen before I turn 50. I'm 37 now, so I have about 13 years. So
I was gonna say 10 years, but yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm looking for that to happen in that way. I don't want people to be compelled to do something. And even if I'm gonna tell you something, Ashley, one thing that I've learned is when you don't have a lot of stipulations on people, they'll be more and more propelled to do the job, especially if they're invested in it. If they're invested in it, they'll be more and more propelled to do the job if they have the resources and tools that they have, and if they're not being watched or what you call micromanaged. It's ridiculous. Give people what they need, especially if you're helping people. None of this belongs to me. I am gathering resources to help other people, and that's how I see it. I think that was the only question you asked. Yeah, I want this to be like a division in each state and then also each country. Maybe somebody in Africa may have like a Doctors Without Borders. Let's say that, and they may have a division of aunts and uncles where they go into the village and they see the kids and stuff, and they bring resources to them. Why not have that? if Doctors Without Borders wanted to do a collaboration with me, do you know how huge that would be? That's what I'm looking for, stuff like that, so that people can actually see us become. Always, my motto is do and be. Do the best and be the best. And that's what I want. I don't know how long, like I said, I don't know how long that's going to take off, but I'm just going through the motions as they come. Every year, I plan to do 2 to 3 events. And then I want them to gradually change every year to 3 to 4, 5 to 6, as time digress. Right now, we're doing 2, but maybe next year I can do 3. I would like to get T-shirts and have events where all of the people who are part of it, there's no fee or anything for this. I don't want it to be, never want it to be a fee. I want people who are generally doing the work for kids in the community to come and feel like they can come as a community hub or resource for their children. Bring the kids too. I want to be able to have like a gaming space. I want it to be kind of like an after school thing. Well, even if they have to come to a physical location and sit down and talk to counselors or I want it to be full-fledged like that. I really do. I want it to have the counselors. I want to have social workers, nurses. I want to have it full-fledged so that people can feel like this is an operation that's really changing the world in all different operational sections of the
So it
world.
sounds to me that you want to diversify it to
Yes,
really
I do.
assist in many different areas. So if any of you watching now have a nonprofit or an organization or referral agency, or you're a counselor or you're a nurse or a doctor, any of those things, if you're any of those things, you have a friend that's any of those things and are interested in this, please feel free to leave a comment and we will get you over to Anthony.
Yeah. And that will be all. Thank you all for listening. Aunts and uncles, I'm gonna leave you with this, would change the world. I think that it'll get us back to the place where we see what's important. And that's loving each other, taking care of each other, and not allowing perspectives to be the driving force on how we do that. I think love is the key to elevating and progressing humanity. And as long as we have that, through love comes action. That's true love. Through love, you should see action. If you don't see love and if you don't see actions in your love, it's not love. So yeah, it's just that simple. And that's what we're giving. And I believe aunts and uncles in the future, you're gonna see it. Mark my word, you're gonna see it because it's ordained by the universe. So thank you for
This is
listening.
beautiful, and your dreams pull you, not push you. So I want to thank Anthony for his time, and I really believe, like I said previously, Aunts and Uncles of America is definitely something that's very needed, and to diversify it in such different ways, open ways, I think will really help pull those things. So I want to thank you for your time, and remember, have your own truth.
Yes, thank you.